welcome everybody to the Hoop Chat. To the Hoop Chat. Excited about this topic right here, dog. Let's go. I learned how to win in college.
Process, right?
Absolutely. Separate the men from the boys. It will separate the real from the fake. It will separate the committed from the uncommitted, who really loves the game and who really don't.
Your network equals your net worth. 25 years of experience.
Like, oh, man, yeah, let's get to work. Mm-hmm. Let's get to work.
You already know. Let's get to work. Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Hoop Chat. It's your boy, Coach Nelly. And, you know, here's my brother and my counterpart, Mars. Man, we got a special show lined up for you today. And as my brother always said, we here to pod.
We here to pod today.
We here to pod today. Real quick, if you guys could go to YouTube, hit that search button, search the Hoop Chat, and hit that subscribe and like button, and please help us grow. Our family's growing, and we would love each and every one of you to be a part. We got somebody special for him today, bro.
And this is something, man, that very special for us. It's our first guest, number one.
Right.
Right. Excuse me, bless.
No, bless you.
It's our first guest, and it's a special guest because we literally watched this person transition from a kid to a young man. So watching that, it's going to be dope for everybody to make sure you tune in, players, coaches, as well as parents. Make sure you tune into this one. This one is a special one for us.
Right. So
without
no more hesitation, I would like to introduce everybody to our first guest to the show, Junior Saintel. My man, Junebug.
Yo, what's up, Coach man? Lamar. Appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yes, sir. You gonna set the bar high, man. You are.
Yeah, you're the first guest, man. So you don't F it up.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
How about you just give a quick rundown and a little background of who you are to the people out there, and just tell them where you from, all that.
My name is Junior Saintel. I come from a city called Ventnor City, New Jersey. That's where I grew up. I'm a strong. I come from a strong Haitian, family. I moved to Mays Landing when I was in 8th grade, but I grew up recently, my whole life in Ventnor. Being around, people from Atlantic City, Pleasantville, all different areas. I went to Holy Spirit High School in Absecon, went to junior college, and then I ended up going to a 2-year university. So, and now I'm playing professionally. So everything is going pretty good right now.
Speaking of your 2-year anniversary, man, shout out to Coach Pikel at Rutgers for taking him to the dance.
Coach Pikel, my coach, it's crazy though, because when I went to Stony Brook, that's where I ended up going to university. Pikel ended up going to Rutgers, and the head coach now, my head coach for 2 years was Jeff Bowles, that just won at University of Ohio, West Virginia. So both of them coaches are doing really good right now. Just
absolutely,
teams,
that's crazy, right? That's
crazy for sure.
Nah, that's what's up, man. It's the funny thing about the first time I met Junior. He was in 7th grade, and it was at Chuck's 3-on-3 in the summertime, and everybody's like, "Oh, this kid." First of all, he was long as hell, skinny as hell, long as hell, right? And I'm like, 7th grade, damn, he tall as hell.
All arms.
All arms and legs, right?
Man. All arms and legs.
The funny thing is, it's like, here come this kid, skinny kid on a skateboard. Yeah, you used to be on that skateboard, bro.
Yeah, I was versatile, man. Did everything.
I was versatile.
And did everything, man.
I know for me, like I said, I've met Junior when he was in 7th grade, and it's been a real pleasure to watch the growth, the journey. I'm proud to be a part of the journey with you. I know we put some work in. I know you played for Select for us on our AAU program. So, and even now to this day, I know me and you, we talk, maybe every few weeks. I like to keep my eye on you and just check in with you. Especially now that you do play in the country and you've been playing in the country that I played in, so I can relate to you on that level. But and I know Mark said it earlier, but man, I know I'm proud of you. I'm proud just to be a part of your village, and proud to just, like I said, watch the growth of from this little skinny seventh grader to the young black man, man that you are now, man. So,
appreciate it.
All love, bro. No, absolutely.
Yeah, watching Junior, just in his development as a player,
Right.
Junior couldn't shoot. He was just athletic.
He still can't.
That shit water now. Shit cash now.
When I watched him, especially through his high school career, I think one of the things that frustrated us the most, and one of the things that really had us really start doing what it is that I'm currently doing, at least on the skill end, was just watching a kid who had a whole lot of talent and ability, but wasn't cultivated, wasn't developed, wasn't really
That's 100% fact, man.
Hands-on in terms of, I understand what my role is as a high school coach. I got a possible Ferrari here. You know what I'm saying? With that, I got to make sure that I tune it right. You know what I mean? So that it can go on and reach its full potential. And I felt like when me, you, and Tori had sat down to develop Basketball Empire, that's what the goal was. The goal was, for me in my mind, was looking at kids like Junior, looking at kids and saying, yo, this area, the reason why it's not considered one of the basketball areas is because there's nobody cultivating the youth in this area. It's just kind of like, yeah, you're the best in high school, and then there's nothing else. There's no other side of that. There's no, you can be great. You can really go and take it to another level and change your life as well as your families through this game of basketball. And just having the opportunity to work with Junior as well as with his team when we did what we did for their preseason. I even said then, and listen, Wayne attests to this. I got an argument with your coach and saying that team was a state championship team.
100%, man. A bunch of young talent for sure. We were young and talented, man.
Yeah, you had horses, and the bar. The thing that always angered me was the bar was set low, but the expectations for me were high. But what frustrated me the most was it was a lot of black kids.
That's what it was. That's what it was that year, for sure, man. It was something different. Yeah, that wasn't normal.
It wasn't. But my thing was, you extracted these people from situations because you were trying to play keep away. You never intended on saying, I'm extracting these people for another opportunity. I want to show them that they could take their talent and go to the next level, and come into this program is what's going to help you do that. And just in years past, after you guys graduated, I watched, because I paid close attention to it, because it's so important to me to make sure that I'm staying connected to my kids. I want to make sure that they know I'm here, that, listen, whatever you may need, if I can't give it to you, I'm going to find the answer for you. Just knowing that, just what we just talked about prior to us getting on here, just the mental health component, making sure that you're good, your family's good.
Most important.
It's a tough road, man. It's a tough road. And it just really inspired me and compelled me and motivated me to currently do what I'm doing right now, and making sure that every kid that I come into contact with, I make sure that I want them to know that I'm here for you for whatever it is you decide to do, whether it's basketball or not. It's one of those things that through the teachers of basketball, you could really have some value system for you to go forward. And, just watching you, man, I'm just extremely proud of you. You're a part of the reason why, as well as Wayne, that I came to play in the Stay Hungry League in the summertime. I ain't drive down there to really hoop with nobody.
I feel that. I appreciate that, man.
You guys, I'm being honest with you. I drove down there to see you guys. It was an opportunity for me to play with Wayne. Wayne tore his Achilles, and I never thought that me and him would play again once he tore his Achilles. So when he told me he was out there, and then it's like, yo, it's Frank is out here, Tor is out here.
Yeah, let's go hoop, man. That's what it was. Let's go hoop.
All right. You got me. All right, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? And it was just fun. It was fun to be back home and then just seeing your body, seeing you play, seeing your growth, seeing that, now I went from being a guy who was like, all right, I'll give him the rock here to like, yo, no, you go. Go
Yeah.
ahead, bro. You got it. You got the juice now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's a dope experience, man. And again, like I said, I can't say it enough, man. We very proud of you, man, and just keep striving, keep going, man, because you're making us all proud.
No, for sure. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. From both of you guys.
Absolutely. So, for you parents and players out there, I'm pretty sure a lot of you know the series, The Last Chance U, and how they particularly go after one team at the junior college level. And in the past, it's been football related for the last 4 seasons. And this year, they switched to basketball. And they chose to follow East LA Community College. And in my opinion, and my wife says I'm biased, but I believe this was the best Last Chance U they've done.
Sure was.
And I mean, I know we're all basketball dudes, so it hits a string, that heartstring with us when it comes to sports. But I was really taken back by it. Coach Mosley, first of all, shout out to that team. Shout out to Coach Mosley, the head coach. I know me and you talked about this, Junior, but he was everything to that program, just in terms of how he kept it real with his kids and how much he cared for them, and understanding each kid was different, and understanding that he had to treat them fair, but each kid had to be treated differently in order for them to be successful.
Right.
And as I'm watching this, I'm looking at from a different point of view of just the grind. Like, these kids are dealing with so much. A lot of them have had, some real disheartening backgrounds. I mean, the kid Joe Hampton was locked up. He went to Penn State, then he got locked up, and he started down spiraling from there. And you got other kids that experienced loss, or, I mean, growing up in Los Angeles can't be easy either, dealing with gang activity and things like that. But I don't think a lot of people and parents understand the depth of that series. I don't think they understand what really goes into the whole JUCO, approach in their JUCO way. So that's what I want to talk about. That's what we want to talk about today, is just the whole JUCO grind, man. And we could pick this apart and really get into it. But
Sure.
I feel like when it comes to recruiting, JUCOs get overlooked. People are always saying, go to prep school. Go here. Try to get that 5th year back, and not understanding, there's another option. Some kids don't need to go to prep.
Right.
It might just be, it could be educational. You didn't have the grades, but you don't need to go back to do another year of high school. You know what I mean? You can move on and play college basketball. And there are a lot of really good JUCOs out in this country, but the grind is tough. So just tell us, let's tell the audience, man, like, how'd you even decide to choose? You went to Chipotle, right?
I went to Chipotle College, in Marianna, Florida.
Okay.
For two years. So yeah, I was repping that 850 area code. Jackson County. I was a Jackson County boy for 2 years. So.
Now, like, a dude like you, right? Like, because I remember I came to your crib when Central Connecticut came down or whatever, right. For the visit. And I already know that you had other D1 offers on the table. Yeah. We already know you had other schools after you, but like, what made you want to go to like JUCO, like Chipotle? Like, how's that come about? And what as a basketball player and a kid that has offers on the table to go to 4-year university decides to like, let me take the JUCO route because I want to go somewhere bigger and better?
For me, it was just basically betting on myself. I played at Holy Spirit, the background there before I got there, the history there. Obviously, even though we didn't win as much, everyone wanted to go to Holy Spirit and stuff like that. So, me personally, I just felt like, I didn't get as much schools as I thought I would have gotten in high school. Like Lamar said, I was a talented, young player, but I don't really think I had that much skill development to where, like certain players now in the country, you see them getting, different trainers and all this type of work, teamwork and stuff like that. So, for myself, when I graduated, I had D1 offers, and for me, they were mid-major. No knock to no mid-major, but I was competitive. Playing with you guys, select and everything like that. That I told myself like I want to be a high major player. I felt like I was a high major player, and I just wanted to take that chance on myself. So I could have went to prep schools. I had a bunch of prep schools hit me up, but for me, I felt like it wasn't about the development there. I felt like I had the game still, and I could have, played a part in a high major right way. So I felt like the route for me was just like me betting on myself, and it was definitely a challenge though. It definitely wasn't what I expected of in the beginning. So definitely had to adjust, and once you adjust, you just get, it just made me more hungry though for sure going to JUCO.
So let me ask you, like, when you decided to go JUCO, how many people were in support of that, and how many people were like, nah, you should do X, Y, and Z? Because everybody becomes a guru when
Yeah.
you-
Man, when I said JUCO, and to be honest with you, there's a lot of people probably upset about my decision. Even personal coaches probably too. Like I'm not really sure. Like a lot of people were supportive. Like I had a great high school career, so to tell them, tell people I'm going JUCO, a lot of people didn't even know what junior college was. They're like, what is JUCO, or like why are you going JUCO? Or everyone knows, like, everyone has their own stereotype to what JUCO is to them. So for me, I was just like, it is what it is. It's my decision, and I'm gonna make the best of it. So.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. It wasn't until I got into coaching AAU that I really understood the whole JUCO thing.
Yeah.
Even in my recruitment process, and I had a couple JUCOs that had wanted me as well, but just not having the knowledge of and enough information to understand, like, if you go to JUCO, it's not over for you. Because I think a lot of people feel that way. Like I'm going to go to JUCO.
Yeah. The
I'm going
stereotype
to junior college. Yeah.
Yeah, the stereotype is crazy.
I'm gonna jump in there because I was definitely a JUCO kid and a bunch of JUCO offers, and it was more my parents than it was even me. The thought of, okay, you got to get an apartment off campus, or okay, you're gonna go stay at this particular school, but when you go visit it, it didn't look, because of I want to say certain kids that was going to the JUCO schools that I actually went to look at. Your parents is like, nah, you're not going to do that. And for me, it was more so like, how is this going to help me get to where I ultimately wanted to be? You know what I'm saying? And that was a misconception, because at the end of the day, it didn't matter if you go 4-year school. I could have went to the Big Ten. If my mind ain't focused on what I need to be focused on, that just added distraction. You see what I'm saying? The small intimacy of the classroom setting would have been really good for me. I was a very distracted youth, so I would have been wilding in a major situation where we got lecture halls, a lot of distraction.
Yeah.
So I knew who I was, and the fact that there was a certain level of maturity that I had, and there was a higher level of immaturity, and I felt like my parents were like, "Nah, this ain't it. We want you." They have a different vision for what they wanted from me. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that they were wrong, but I can say that other people need to explore it before they decide that's not it. You know what I'm saying? At least
Yeah, exactly.
take visits, look, do your due diligence before you just say nah, because you're a testament to making that decision and it panning out for you and your career going forward. So just kind of talk about some of the things that you experience when your feet touch Chipola and you on campus. You drop your bags, and kind of give people what your experience was initially.
And from the first day I got there, so I didn't visit no junior college. So normally, when you go to a college, you take visits, and you're getting a feel of the campus before you go there. So for me, it was a little different. It was a whole different situation. Like I knew I wasn't going to a D1 university right away. I was taking that SAT, ACT. I was stressing out. I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like JUCO is gonna be the route I'm gonna have to take. So, it was a school, a JUCO in Iowa, I believe, and then there was some in Kansas, Florida. So when I heard Florida, I'm like, if I'm going junior college, I'm going to Florida. That was just my mind. Like, I gotta go away. Why not go to Florida? I was just like, it's a different move. I don't want to be in the
He trying
cold.
to
I'm
be
like,
in,
let's.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
I'm just
trying to
like,
be in
let's go
Florida.
to
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, I'm like, let's go to Florida. Let's take it to Florida. But when I got there to the Mariana, it was a whole completely different Florida. It wasn't no my it wasn't no Miami or no it was none of that, man. For sure. It was Jackson County, Mariana, population about like, I'll say 7,000, 8,000. It was borderline under Alabama, so real in the South, real like real country, genuine, like, Christian gospelly people. Definitely a different culture. When I got to the campus, I'm like, yo, what is this? I got there. There's a yo, I swear to you, there's a basketball court right outside the dorm, one rim on there, and it's just like it's literally isolated though. It's the campus, and then around the campus is not really much. Like it's everything you gotta walk a good distance, like 20 minutes to see something. So I'm just like, yo, I got to the dorms. I'm like, this is my first time, so I'm thinking it's gonna be luxurious. I'm thinking in my head before I got there, I'm thinking like, where's the gear? Where's the nice apartment? They gave me the keys. They gave me the keys, showed me the doors. Basically said, good luck, man. I said, yeah, I'm not lying. I swear to you, man. I definitely, that was definitely a shocker to me. I'm just like, yo, I got to get to work. From that first day, man, I was motivated, just like I gotta get out of here. So.
And that's funny too, because like you said, I mean, even though you didn't have the offers that you wanted, you did have some Division I offers. You did have some schools that wanted you. So in your mind as an athlete, and I already know this, and Lamar contested this too. Like you already have it pictured in your head when you get to campus how it's going down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You already know how I'm gonna have a nice little place. I'm gonna have this. I'm gonna have that. The people, all that. And a lot of times when you get to that situation, it's not how you think. And especially because I know where Chipola is as in terms of on the map and stuff, and being so close to Alabama, and I have family in Alabama. I know how that area is and how country it is and how just different it is, especially coming from close to Lang City and the area that you're from, and you just get put into the situation where it's like, yo, where the hell am I at right now? You know what I mean? And the mental aspect of that is hard on a lot of athletes because they can't adapt just to the change in the environment first. Has nothing to do with basketball, has nothing to do with, the school. It has to do with the area that they in, and just get to a point where like, yo, I can't be here. And I think a lot of players lose sight of what the goal is. I'm here to put this work in, and I'm here not to stay here. I'm here to get out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you go ahead.
So you said some really important things, man. You said, once they gave me the keys, I opened the door, and I said to I got to get to work. How did you process that? Obviously change. You're away from your family. Obviously, first time being really away from your family, and you walk into this situation. When you say you had to get to work, was that a positive thing, or was that like, yo, I got it? Like, this is some bullshit. Like, how did I get up there? You know what I'm saying?
It went two ways for me. Like when I got there, I didn't expect it to be like that. So when I got there, I'm just like, for me, I'm just like, I know I deserve better than this. Like I was just telling myself, like, I worked too hard to to be in this position, but I use it as like a motivational and, grateful for the opportunity that they gave me to even, allow me to even, play for that, program and allow me to develop there. But when I got there, I'm like, nah, I gotta make it, man. Because my mindset, everyone's mindset when you're in high school and stuff, you're like, yo, I'm getting to that league, or I'm gonna make it high major or something. But for me, I felt like when I put my mind to something, I really like work to it. So I just felt like I knew I can make it at a certain level. Like I knew I can make it at a high level and see where the opportunities will come. So when I got to JUCO, it definitely was like a humble, like, like you gotta get your stuff together. Like you gotta do right now. This is your time to refocus and allow yourself to grow through this process. But definitely at first I'm like, yo, this is some BS. Like,
So, talk about your day to day. Give me your what that experience is like, because I don't think a lot of people understand. At the JUCO level, and this is a sliding scale. Not every JUCO is this way. Some JUCOs that like yours has a dorm situation,
yeah.
maybe, and X, Y, and Z. Did you have to worry about the independency, right? Because there's some, they gotta get apartments, they gotta get their own food, they got a job on campus, they got
Right.
so many extraneous things going on before you even get to the court. And in that documentary, At Last Chance U, it talks briefly about some of those kids and their experiences. Right. Talk to people about that. You know what I mean? What that was like for you.
For majority of us, the oldest guy on my, so I got to Chipola the year 2015. 2015, I played 2015, 2016, so 2 seasons there. The oldest guy I believe I played with was probably only 23, and he came from like a NAIA. So everyone else was pretty much my age. We're young, but it's different. It's not like a university where you get guys, coming, different cultural guys, I would say, because majority of my teammates, were black. It wasn't we didn't have, too many white players on our team. We probably had, one, I believe, in my 2 years I was there. And, the stereotype for him, when he was there, he was kind of shook. I ain't gonna lie. He was kind of shook because he didn't really, he had to adapt to how we were rocking. And we,
Right.
he wasn't probably used to that environment because you could tell he came from like a, higher standard than everyone else did, basically. So I would just say like getting along with the teammates because everyone had different backgrounds. That was probably like the key point. Like the first day I got there, you could tell like certain guys' struggles were a little different. Like, you had players that came from like, real inner city, like, gang banging type environment where they seen people die every day. Like really though, like, we had first day we went around in a circle and just hearing everybody's story, just like, everybody has a story. Literally everyone has some type of like story that messed them up completely. And, the fact that everyone thinks that JUCO is only simply because of grades or, this kid's an idiot in the classroom. It's never really, sometimes it's not even about grades. Like I can have the grades and still go JUCO, but everyone's always thinking if you go JUCO, it's only, oh, this kid's not, correct in the classroom. It's not only about classroom. So that experience alone, just learning about different guys and the bond you create with the people that you meet there is just incredible because, it's just a long time lifeline connection. I really believe that. So
let me ask you this. So you got guys from all over, right, to come that's on your team, right?
Right.
And with JUCO, obviously everybody's mindset is like, yo, I got to get out of here.
I got to shine.
I got to get out of here. I got to get out of here. So I got to shine, right? So again, on that day-to-day, routine that you guys did, what was that like? Now, did you guys have individuals? Did you guys, have certain times with weight room? Did you have, tutoring sessions? Like, how's that different? Or was it the same as, when you went to Stony Brook?
Nah, definitely completely different from Stony Brook. So when you get to junior college, it's basically like they're so focused on just basketball. So basically, when I was there, my mindset, I'm like, obviously you're gonna care about the class work and grades, but I know how the JUCO system works. Like a lot of people don't know. Like when you go JUCO, like a lot of teachers and stuff like that, they're gonna kind of make it a way that's easy for you to pass these classes. Like a lot of people are not going to talk about this, but it's the truth. Like some players literally they'll literally make you study for a test and have it open book. For example, like you're literally studying and you know it's going to be open book though. You can use your notes, so it's like how can you fail, you know? But
Right.
I feel like the problem with that was it was just like you're not really learning. We wasn't really learning anything. We would learn certain material, but you will learn certain material, but some of the material is kind of just like it was kind of easy just for us to, for the athletes to play. So my university, my JUCO, it was really big in baseball. So that's where like Jose Batista, Russell Martin, all of them guys went. So the baseball team, the basketball team, the women's basketball team, and then the women's softball team. Those were the 4 sports that was there. Only those are the only 4 sports that was there. So you just got to think how like they're not failing nobody to have them sit out or anything. So we're studying, we're learning, but at the same time they're making it easy for us to process through like what we're like going through with our sport. So, and
Now,
practice wise,
when y'all had classes, I know y'all had classes together or different times. Was y'all out here like, yo, let me get them notes to that test, yo? I know you just had such.
This is the honest truth. So obviously the first month you're probably going to all your classes, you're writing your notes down, attendance, you're really keeping track of attendance. But once you learn the system and like, the big lectures and stuff like that, I'm waking up late.
Yo, I ain't going to that. You waking up like I ain't going to that class.
And who got them notes?
I ain't going to that class.
And it was a time we had a math class. It's me and my boys. We in the gym. My coach was like, "Don't you guys have class?" We just like it got canceled, and he ain't question nothing. Meanwhile, whole class is in session. We in the gym, so
Right.
They know what it is.
I was gonna say, so talk about that approach to it because there is a sense, right, that like he's saying, like Wayne was saying, I got to get out of here. Was it just in all honesty, was your focus purely on I got to develop my game so I can get the hell out of here, or was it the combination of I want to make sure that my grades is right and I'm gonna apply myself to the academic side just as much as I'm applying myself to the athletic side?
Yeah, so for me, like obviously, I don't think I was a bad like student or anything like that in the classroom. I definitely struggled with some certain topics and stuff like that, but I don't think I was like a bad student. I was always, I was listening. I was never a disruptive student or anything like that. To cause any, distraction to the class or anything like that. So me, it was just basically just focusing on my material, like studying more and not putting stuff to the side, procrastinating on certain stuff. So when I got to JUCO, I kind of put a little bit of the procrastination aside, but in the meantime, you're still procrastinating because it was just a different environment for me. And a lot of the guys, we'll go to practice, and after practice, we all just chilling, vibing. We're not really doing homework sessions together. Everybody on the game systems. We laughing, joking, we making moves. You feel me? So that aspect of like my part in the classroom just changed a little bit. But it was definitely a challenging part for me too, because it was important for me because I obviously didn't want to fail classes in JUCO and then not end up going to university. That was my one of my biggest fears. But towards the end of everything, when it was all said and done after my last year at JUCO, there's a situation because I only thought I was going to JUCO for 1 year, so it kind of bit me. Yeah. So my first year, we had a coach. He came from Louisville University, and we were a talented team. All black and young, flying around, shooters, dunkers. Like we were one of the top teams in the country, basically. And his style of play come from Louisville. He liked the up and down pace, and that first year for me was was great. I was 6'7". I was skinny as hell, like 175, playing the 2. I was literally playing the 2-3 position, but more at the 2. And coming from Holy Spirit, I was more like 4 or 5. I was the biggest on the team, but I was kind of stretched out, and we played like 5 out, 4 out, or whatever it was. But my first year at JUCO definitely was super fun playing for that type of coach, and he built a lot of confidence in me, and like I feel like it's so important for a coach to give players confidence because I think that's like the main important part for players to really reach their peak and where they want to go is having their head coach or somebody really instill that confidence in them to believe in their dreams too. Because I met a lot of coaches that downright will play you and like not really give you that confidence, and that will definitely make you play bad. Because I had a situation like that where I was so mentally messed up because I had one of my coaches in my ear saying, I can't do certain stuff when I know I could. So I think that's like one of the main important parts I learned throughout the process is like learning to be around people that believe in you as much as you believe in yourself.
That's that's big, man, and that's super important. And I know for me that was one of the biggest reasons why I did really like Last Chance U because of Coach Mosley of how much he cared and empowered his kids. But that's very, very important for players because, like you, I've been in a situation where coaches have told me I can't do this, you won't be this, and some players can't handle that mentally, and it breaks them. And other players use it as motivation. Oh, you're telling me I can't do something, I'm gonna go out and do it. Let's take the flip side of what Lamar just asked you. And again, with that whole mindset of, yo, I'm here to get out of here. And like you said, you were looking at just doing 1 year and being out.
Right.
How is it and what's it like when you're dealing with 12 other players that have the same mindset on the basketball court? Does it become like, yo, I don't care about winning. I want to show that I can hoop and I'm trying to get out of here? Or were you fortunate to be a part of a group that was concerned about both? Yo, let's get better as individuals, but we're going to get better as a team and win so we get, more recognition.
So for me, I was actually fortunate enough to have a great leader as a captain. There's a player who came from Nebraska named Tredeon Hollins. He went to junior college like myself, the same one. He ended up going to a 2-year university at UNO, Nebraska. So he went back home to play. Ended up playing in the G League, and I think he got Defensive Player of the Year. The kid was averaging in college, 3.5, 4 steals a game. But he was the same person, since JUCO. Like the first day, he started the intervention circle to get everyone together to start talking and learn about each other. And I felt like that leadership that he had, brought everyone together in a way. But like he had a mentality to where like he wasn't gonna let nobody stop him. Like he was hungry. Like you could tell he'd been through some stuff and like he was motivated to make it. And when you go JUCO, just like any university, and not everyone on the team is gonna have that dog in them. Like just because you go JUCO, that don't mean like everyone's locked in. Like I had teammates where they didn't give a damn if they played or if they even made it out or not. Like when you get there, it's gonna test you. You're either gonna put all the BS to the side and get to work, or you're gonna get distracted just like anywhere else that you can go, university or wherever. It's really how you treat it. So I kind of followed his footsteps, and I became real savage on the defensive end because of him. He made our team better defensively, and he just basically every day was just a grind. Like he made sure that no matter what BS we were going through off the court, just make sure like when it was come time to practice, just make sure you're ready. And that was like the most important preparation was important. So, but I definitely had there's certain guys that you could just tell like they didn't have that dog in them at all. Like they're just easily getting pushed around, mentally weak, and anything that the coach said, coaches like I feel like if a coach is not yelling at you or like just leaves you alone and not saying anything to you at all, that means he don't care about you. He don't really he don't care if you get better or not. If a coach is on your ass telling you to, if you mess up or you miss a free throw, run these laps or something, he's getting you better. At the end of the day, like it's BS because you don't want to do it. But I feel like when a coach is talking to you in that way and he's treating you like everyone else and holding you to a standard, you're only gonna get better from it. So I feel like some players will take a coach yelling at them or, saying like I'm not saying a coach should disrespect you, but if they're coaching you in a way where they're just coaching you, not just picking on you, I feel like you should take that as like a learning curve and get better. Just accept what they say, get better. So.
No, that's facts. Facts. Um,
talking
but
to a dude, you talking to a dude who is not an academic dude at all. So I was an academic dude at all.
hey June, hey look, June, I had a 1.7 my first year.
Hey, hey, listen, I beat him by far. I had a 1.4. All right.
Man, I don't know what my shit was, man.
Homeboy called me in for the year evaluation and was like, hey, so what you got going on for the summer? Yeah, yo, coach, I'm gonna be working hard. I'm trying to do X, Y, and Z.
Like,
Then homeboy said he slid that paper across. And he was like, yo, take a look at that. It was a big circle around 1.4. I was like, what's 1.4? He said, I don't know, but that's not. I know all those. I know all those plans you have for the summer. We'll plan on being in these damn books if you plan on keeping the scholarship. So, what the thing is, man, I felt like, number one, I wasn't a big student of school or proponent of school, not because I had struggled. I never struggled with school. My thing with school was just, it was, what is this for? Like, why I have to learn this from you? I could just Google much of the stuff that you're telling me, and then I don't get to choose what I want to learn. But my thing was, I felt like I got so one-track minded with basketball, and the pressures of basketball, So speak to that, because I think all of us, all played at the collegiate levels and very competitive. Like you said, you got that dog in you. Where did it become like, yo, I'm focused on this right here. I ain't really so worried about the next thing. And how did that set you up?
To be honest, like, playing with Tori and Wayne and, training with you back in the day and Select, like, I honestly could never say I had a plan B. Like, from the beginning, once I started learning the game and I just fell in love with it, I just started, grinding every day. Like, even though when I got to junior college, I was a skinny old kid, I was trying to, lift weights crazy in judo, but like the meal prep was, terrible. I didn't have the best meal. That's one thing too. Like, you're not getting these meal preps. You're not getting these meals gourmet. So let me tell you about the food situation at the JUCO I went to. So you just gotta imagine this, and you'll see if like certain people can make this stretch. So every Monday you will only get about 60, I would say $65 to $75 that should last you the whole week. And this is for the cafeteria closed at 4 p.m. So you're basically allowed access to eat at the cafeteria until 4 p.m. But from 4 p.m. to the rest of the day, you got $75 to last the whole week to eat your dinner, basically. And I'm not cooking. I'm not making no gourmet meals. I'm eating McDonald's, man, Zaxby's when I was out there. Man,
I know about
man,
Zach.
I was playing, man. I was running off Coca-Cola, sodas, water, and junk food. No, I don't think I had one nice real meal, like actual real like healthy meal in junior college. I felt like I was eating BS, but like I feel like the stereotype of like eating healthy and stuff, I feel like it was just a mental thing. Like for me, I always was grinding and like I didn't care. Like as long as if I was hungry, I would just eat something. I didn't really care what it was, but man, I used to walk miles to go get my food though. Miles, like 2 a.m, it didn't matter the time. Like, we didn't have cars unless somebody was up to drive you, but I would really wake up 11, 12 in the morning, 1 in the morning, walk my ass to McDonald's, man. Walk back 2 miles though, just to get like, sometimes just a couple McChicken just to hold myself down, you know what I mean? So and that was everyone. That was everyone, not just me. Like this was like the normal thing to do. Like
that brings up a good point, man, because in and of itself, that's a level of sacrifice, right? Because you said, yo, I got to get up and bust this move to go get something to eat. And you were okay with what it is. What I'm saying to you is what your recognition and your maturity very early on to see the bigger picture. You said some important things in there. You said, yo, I ain't really care what it was. I ain't think about health and food. I'm thinking about, yo, as long as I get something in the tank, I gotta perform. I gotta go play, and I gotta do what I gotta do to get me out of this situation. I think that was a very strong mental to have, because there's a lot of players who get lost in their journey because it's not how they envision things to be, and it seems me, you were very shape shifting and adjusting to the situation and what was going on, and kind of assimilating yourself to that situation, and then pushing yourself to continue forward. Not a lot of people in life really have the ability to adjust when situations ain't what an environment
Yeah,
ain't
definitely.
right.
Oof.
And so that was, I wanted to make sure that we pointed that out, because people will listen to this pod and they'll just hear you talk about stuff, but they won't hear the depth of what you're trying to say in those things. Like, there's a tremendous amount of sacrifice. You say you walk 2 miles, bro. I could tell you right
Yeah,
now,
nah, sacrifice for sure, man.
I'm not walking 2 miles for no food. What I'm gonna do
Yeah,
right there.
trust me, your stomach talking to you at night. You gonna get up and go walk that. Trust me. We all said the same thing. When that stomach talking, you gonna get your ass up and walk.
Yo, take this walk with me, bro.
Yeah, that's what it was. Hey, bro, what you doing, man?
Nah, I'm gonna
Let's
get you
take
a
this little
McChicken.
walk.
Yo, I got you, yo.
A 2-mile walk for a big chicken is nuts. That is
Man,
insane.
Like he said, like, I'm glad you did point that out, because, you know, again, this is all the JUCO grind, you know, and it might not be the same at every junior college, but, you know, for players and parents out there, you guys need to understand, you know, a lot of these junior colleges, it's not a cakewalk,
Right.
you know. And what I mean was, yeah, he talked, you know, Junior talked about the academic side, but, you know, like you said, it was meant for you to get out of there from academic standpoint. They're going to make sure you get out. You had to really not do anything to fail, right? But from the mental aspect, from the aspect of wanting to continue to push forward to get to where you want to get to, you had some obstacles, man. Like you said, like, yo, if I got to walk 2 miles to get some food mentally, and it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and maybe I got practice at 9 o'clock, or I got to get up 8 o'clock in the morning, like, that's not easy.
Right.
And I tell you, like, I've been around, not at the college level, but just playing overseas and watching how players can't adapt to things like that, and just be like, yo, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Like, I can't do this. You know what I mean? So it speaks volumes of your mental toughness. It speaks volumes of that you really wanted to reach the goals that you had set for yourself, man, because again, this is why we wanted to do this. The JUCO grind, it's a grind. You know, college is a grind in itself, but JUCO is different. So with that being said, right? So like, you had, you know, the $65 to $70 to last you a week, right?
The whole week, yeah.
The whole week. But now you are a college student now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I get it. We was all in college. Like, it ain't always just about sports.
Yeah.
So how did that factor into just having a life outside of basketball?
Social life.
Right? A social life.
Social life, right?
Again, I know you're not in Florida, not the Florida you thought you was going to be.
Yeah. So the upside,
you are in warm weather, so.
Yeah, the upside of living in Mariana was we were like 30 to 40 minutes from Tallahassee. So the years I went to Florida, Tallahassee was like really, really lit though. That's when Florida State, I forgot what year that was, but you know, that's when we were hanging out with the guys there. You know, the connection between our junior college and the Florida State players is pretty much like, you know, somewhat of a connection, you know, like we were hanging with them, blah, blah, blah. Like we'll go hang and do whatever. But that was like the time, that was like really like going to visit Florida State and being on that campus really just made us like want it more, because that's where we wanted to end up, you know. But the outside life there, they had some place called the Coliseum. That's when, like, you know, the clubs and everything in Tallahassee, that's when everything was just fun. But you got to think, like, you're using that $75 of your dinner food. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, we're not using that money for dinner. We're not using that money for dinner. Like, there's some weeks where I'm eating PB&J the whole week just so I can use this certain money. Hey, just so I can use this certain money. Yeah, just like. You know what I'm saying? But that's really how it was, though. It's definitely
Hold up, real quick. So you was there when Florida State won national championship for football?
Jimbo.
I might have been there. Jimbo, 2014, 15. Yeah.
Jimbo and Winston, Jameis Winston. They won that
Yeah,
national.
Jameis Winston was down there. Yeah, he was down
Yeah.
there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool though. We got to go to a game and everything. That was my first college football game that I got to go to. So just being that atmosphere was just crazy to me. So that definitely was just like, this is where I want to be. This is where I should be. Like I just had that motivational itch. Like this is where I should be right now. So
Let me ask you this question, man, because we're going to peel back another layer. You had said something about the social life and having to save that 65, 75. And again, that talks and speaks to your maturity to say, yo, look, I'm going to sacrifice. I'm going to do the PB&J so I could do this.
yeah,
I know me personally, when I was in school, there were some guys on my team who was like, yo, that ain't this what's that called? Work study, this work study money or this ain't hitting on nothing. And they were doing some other stuff to
yeah,
go ahead and make some bread. And for me, it was kind of like one of those things where you looking and you like, dang, he getting to it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He able to do everything. He getting the J's when they come out. He in the
yeah.
club, you know what I'm saying? And he able to get fresh. What is any of those things going on at your school? And then for you personally, how did you perceive those things?
So let me see. There's a couple of stories actually. My first year, I believe my first year there. So I'm not gonna mention the players though, but there were certain players
Yeah,
on our team. Like we all hung out with each other and we all got along. We were all basically, grew up around the same type of people and we all kind of like did the same things. So it was never like nobody stood out or he was acting
right.
weird or nothing like that. So there's definitely there's certain things that we seen that normally, really wasn't normal though, I should say. Like, we'll go to parties and stuff like that together and like certain people would leave with like, certain like, leave with something they didn't have in the first place or
Mm-hmm.
something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I'll be like, yo, where you get that jacket, bro? Like, you had that jacket on when you put up. You know what I mean? You talking about something? It was in his book bag. His book bag, small as hell jacket, big ass Burberry coat or something. So yeah, like certain stuff like that, man. But it was definitely
Right.
a fun, cool experience just to see like, how we adapted though. But for sure, I'm gonna say everybody on the team we were basically all on the same type of timing though. Like we were all JUCO college kids. Like everything we did off the court was pretty much what people did at universities besides all that wild extra stuff. So it was pretty much like we had to adapt to it, but it was definitely certain players on the team that took it to a level where they were hooping and making that money too for them. Like that's something all of us wasn't doing though, but we all knew and we were all around it though. So yeah, it was nothing like a
I speak.
shock or surprise to me though.
I mean, I speak to my experience. As being a freshman in college, I was the only freshman. That was recruited to come there. Everybody else was all juniors and seniors. Um, and again, I'm like you. I'm not gonna bring up no names, but I know there was a couple of my teammates who was getting money, like real
Yeah,
money. And I remember being like, "Yo, I'm broke." And I'm getting tired of calling my mom and listen, I don't come from the type of family where they just replenishing your account with all
yeah,
types of
exactly.
so it's like, yo, what do you need money for? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you the money for that. So it got to a point with me where I was just the allure of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, they getting J's, they getting the rock. At that time, it was Rockaware, and it was those types of things. And one time we coming back from practice, and we coming back. I come into the dorm with two of my teammates, and it's like a little hallway area. We make the left past the front desk into our hallway, and there's cops everywhere. And I'm like, yo, we just paused. We did an about face, and we like, yo, we out. Like, I don't know what was going on, but we out. Come to find out about, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes later, we find out our teammate had got locked up. And that was like the point that it was like one of those things where you kind of feel like, oh shit, that could have been me. You know what I'm saying? And that was like the thing that I felt like God was speaking to me and saying, look, bro, you here to do something else. So I'm gonna show you this little warning shot because you starting to get too infatuated with what's going on right now, and I feel like you about to jump in. So let me show you what could happen to you. And this was a guy who was an All-American. I mean, just super talented, man, and
Right.
had so many opportunities overseas. Even while we was playing, he had agents coming to the game, and that was my first experience with like, yo, this is like real. Like you could get scooped up right here, right now, type of
Yeah.
deal. And from that point of him having that situation, it jammed him up with a lot of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And then obviously going through being in the system, you know, he had certain things that he had to take care of that had nothing to do with school, but had everything to do with his life. And it was just a temporary decision with a permanent consequence. And I felt like from that point, I had made a decision like whatever my road is, it's not going to be through that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to risk that because it's not worth it in the end for me to have couple pairs of sneakers, for me to
Right.
wear jeans, for me to be able to buy a girl a drink or go out or whatever it might be, for me to have those frivolous things that really don't mean nothing off a temporary decision with a permanent consequence. My life is worth more. So, you know, I know that a lot of parents, a lot of players don't really speak about these types of things or even want to think about these types of things. But that's why I wanted to make sure that we talk about this on the pod and the JUCO thing, you know, behind it all, because even at a university level, you're going to have guys who are off the rail. But I know at the
Not yet.
JUCO, it's even more heightened that way because it's like, yo, I ain't got no meal plan and all of that. I
Yeah.
gotta get to it. I gotta get to it.
$65.
Hey, I got some stories, man. I got some stories.
You know, so but again, you had that maturity, you had a vision for yourself, and you weren't going to let those different things compromise that. I feel like, you know, I had the same, and I know when talking to Wayne, you know, he's had similar experiences as well, where, you know, you got some of those dudes where they you know, we was in Long
Not
Island,
yet.
so you went to Stony Brook, you know how Long Island is. It's like, yo,
Yeah, for sure. Them
it's
boys be wild out there.
they got that real paper,
Yeah,
and it's
that
like,
cash.
yo, I'm trying to get to it. What we got to do? Because I'm looking bummy right now.
Yeah.
Right.
So that again, we all sitting here with degrees and have had played basketball, but the bigger thing behind it all is in that journey, we had different obstacles. We had different things that could have drawn us in those different situations that we may not be in this position to be here right now and today. And again, that's why I know myself as well as Wayne is so proud of you because we know that you went through so many different obstacles. But look at where you are right now, man. Tell the people where you are currently and what you're doing right now.
Look at the sweatshirt.
Yeah, I got blessed, man. So this year I'm fortunate enough to play with the club FC Barcelona out here in Barcelona, Spain. It's my third professional season. So just been blessed with the opportunities that have been given to me. So each day I just been, grinding, getting to work and just, waiting for the next steps and, new doors open, stuff like that. So it's been locked in, trying to stay locked in. And obviously there's obstacles and adversity is always going to hit and stuff like that. So it's always how you weather the storm. So I just believe like everybody goes through something, so.
How crazy was it when you get your first professional job and you get your first check? I know for me, it's like, these motherfuckers done messed up. They paying me to do this. I
Yeah.
dreamed about this. You know what I'm saying? Like, so talk about that, man, that experience coming from a Haitian background, family, Ventnor, moving to Mays Landing, having all the different things that transitioned at Holy Spirit, going through Chipola, going to Stony Brook, and then boom, professional career. I'm getting paid now to do this. What was that feel like for you?
Definitely has like its ups and downs, I'm gonna say. But the first year I played at Clavijo, it was called. It was on the other side of Spain, northern Spain, where I was playing at my rookie season. And my first check, I was definitely like, obviously I never worked a regular job. I always just played basketball. I never worked a 9 to 5. For me, I was just always basketball training. I never felt like I needed to learn anything else. Like I was just so instilled in, basketball only. But now, obviously, as I grew older, I learned like, multiple sources of income is important, even if it's, doing stocks or, doing something else, on the side or whatever, just to get a little bit more extra cash. But my first year, I definitely was, my first check, I would say, was definitely, like, I was definitely happy about it. Just like, I never made that type of money ever. So I was just like, it was kind of crazy though, because I didn't have no type of financial literacy. I was blowing that money left and right, man. Like if I go back right now, that's something that I
I'm a
learned.
baller,
That's something
man.
I learned as the year went past, man. But I'm
Hey,
talking about
Right.
my first year, I blew that cash, man.
we all did. We all did, and
Man,
that's part of it. That's part of the experience to a certain degree. I think that
yeah,
picking off some money is while people want to sit here and we could be financially literate all we want to,
yeah,
we still want that feeling of just like, yo, I'm able to get whatever I want when I want it.
yeah,
You got to go through that. You got to get that out your system. You know what I'm saying? And now you're in a better position because of it. So now you know. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for sure.
Situations. Just jumping back into the JUCO thing just for a moment, man. What was the relationship with you and your coach, and are you currently in touch with them at all? Do you still talk to them at
So
all?
yeah,
And what
yeah. So
role
I
did
have like I have two different situations with two different coaches. That's why I say like having a coach that supports you is really important, and being around the right people, because at the end of the day, like you never know people's true intentions, and I know basketball is a business, and a lot of coaches are not really caring about players. Like they just want to make their money because they need to get paid too. So my first year at JUCO, my coach came from Louisville, and him and our connection was, through the roof. Like he let me play the two, he let me rock out. He knew my skills, he knew like what I wanted to get done. He knew my mindset, my dream, and what I needed to accomplish. The only thing that he didn't know was I had to stay 2 years of JUCO. But something I didn't know either. I thought I was doing 1 year. The year went out great. I think I averaged like 13.5. I was 6'7" playing the two, so I was being real versatile. I had NBA teams looking at me. The radar's through the roof. Coach from Louisville, so we had a great season that year, but we didn't win the whole thing. So he ended up leaving the program and got a university job from coaching us. And I was kind of upset about it because I was like, I came in with him. He recruited me to come here, and like, I wanted to get the job done with him, go to university under him, because that first year of recruits, like, I'm always still like happy about it too when I look it up on Google or whatever. Like the teams that were recruiting me were the teams that I wanted when I left Holy Spirit. So that's when I knew like I had the game and I had the ability to make it, because I was getting schools like Florida, Florida State, Clemson, Wichita. I originally committed to Arizona State, which probably a lot of people didn't even know about. So the thing that kind of threw me back was I stayed an extra year. We got a new coach that came in, and sometimes when you get a new coach, you're not really playing the same because they're bringing in their guys. So he brought in his group of guys, knowing I played the 2-3, so he bumped me down to the 3-4 because I was like, one of the tallest on the team, but I wasn't the biggest. But I was able to be versatile enough to play the 4. But it was mentally challenging for me because obviously I didn't want to play the 4. I didn't like. I'm like, in high school, like like that's not my position. I'm too versatile. Like I'm not no 4. Like I'm not no screen. Like I'm a player that runs the wing. I'm running up and down. I'm not no 4-man. So his way of coaching was kind of a little different, and kind of, I didn't have the same year that I had. I was still getting recruited by some good schools and stuff like that, but I didn't have the same like spark that I did in my freshman year that I would have had my sophomore year. So that kind of messed me up a little bit mentally, because I was just like, damn, I was really right there. I thought I was gonna end up, to be honest with you, 100%. I honestly didn't even think I was going to a university. I thought I was gonna have a straight NBA workout the way things were going for me at the time. So I definitely was upset about that part. And then, that coach was just a little bit different. He had his own situation going on. We didn't really know why he even came to our college. He had his background story where he was doing a little snaking around with, money and stuff like this. And you could just tell he had the same intentions that my freshman year coach had. Like he had that same like love and passion with the players, and he was kind of more in it for like, he was trying to get out like us.
Right.
So yeah,
Right.
it was basically what it was. He was trying to get out just like us, and like we didn't really get treated the same. And that year we went through a lot of BS too. Like, we dealt with a lot of we also had a whole year again with a whole black team. I remember we played in a tournament, and we already don't like the coach as it is. And we played in a tournament like, Alabama area. And man, that game was crazy to me because that was the first time I actually dealt with like, racism on the court where, we're young as hell and you got like grown ups and, older white men and women, yelling like, get these juveniles off the court, get these black guys off the court. And, like, nobody did anything. Like, no referee said anything. Nobody got escorted out the gym. It was kind of like a normal thing. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? You know what I mean? Like this is it down here. Like this is acceptable. So definitely you could tell like certain players, we all, we wasn't trying to fight the crowd and stuff like that, but you could tell the tension was in the gym, and like this is something we had to deal with as young, like, black African Americans. So definitely was like a wake up call to me that like, I never dealt with that in high school, going to Holy Spirit. Even though, it's predominantly white, I never dealt with no like, crazy racism like that. So that was definitely a different experience for me.
I remember after your first year, and when we were talking, you were telling me about the schools that you just listed, and Florida State, and I remember you said, "Yo, I think I'm going to go to Arizona State. That's the fit for me. That's where I want to go." And then I remember how upset you were, and just taken back that you had to do another year, and that was something that wasn't really made known to you. It wasn't clear cut to you, and then having to go through coaching changes, position changes, different style of playing, and how the same schools that you had then, and even the NBA scouts weren't there at the end of your second year. And it speaks volumes, and I know we keep saying this about you because, again, you're taking from being at a high. I'm getting NBA looks. Like, I might not even go to a 4-year university. I'm out. Like, I'm about to go straight to this bread. I'm about to go right to this bread. You know what I mean?
Thought, bro.
But then you're taking from that high and you're taking back down here to, I don't have those same looks. You know what I mean? But again, being in a different environment, just from you saying having to deal with, racism. Again, you're in the South. And again, I know that area. I know how it is. My aunt and uncle live in Alabama, and they tell me all the time, like, yo, we can't go certain places because of the racism. So having to deal with that. And then now you're at the end of your second year at Chipola, and you don't have Florida State knocking at your door. You don't have Arizona State knocking at your door, but you were mentally tough. When it speaks volumes of that you were able to stick that through, and not just be like, all right, after this first year, I'm out. Because what I do see is, and I've dealt with players, I know players, I've played with players that after that 1 year at JUCO and the coach leaves or the situation doesn't work out for them, they go to another JUCO, and they start to fall in that trap,
Real quick, because you keep saying about him having to do a second year. You said you had to do a second year. Why? What do you mean you had to do a second year? Educate people on what they meant.
So like when I first got there, they don't really tell you. I mean, I guess when they want you to really go to that school, they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. So me being young, I didn't really have that much, guidance. I kind of had you guys, but I didn't have, I have no certain main guy in my ear every day helping me out the process every day. Like, how I was at Holy Spirit. Like, they wasn't really striving for me at the fullest to get to university, even though I felt like I should have been at one. Like, I said I was going JUCO. It was pretty much, all right, he's going JUCO. I was getting tutored and everything with the SATs and, for the ACTs and stuff like that. But it was kind of on me to get the scores and stuff. But I wasn't. They provided the tutors and stuff like that. But other than that, it was just like I had to do everything pretty much, by myself.
Is it a requirement that you do 2 years, Or
No, so like basically you can do 1 year if your grades are like if you're eligible. So basically I wasn't eligible. So after my first year, I wasn't eligible. And the crazy thing is, like, even after my second year that I did at Chipotle, like my grades still wasn't qualified to reach these high level schools that I wanted to go to. So I forgot what school. I still had some high major schools on the market, but you know how it is. Like once I had to take 2 summer classes, and you know how it is. Like if you're not really ready to get on campus or something, they're just moving on. And I know I was getting recruited over. So the situation was actually pretty crazy because I had to take 2 summer classes, and my mom and dad, they worked really hard. And you know, my parents, like, I was like, you know, I was still young, but I know, like, you know, they provided for me so much already. Like, I was just so in my head that I wasn't going to ask them for money. Like, I got to a certain age where I'm just like, you know, my mom always provided for me and always got me this. My dad always got me this when they could. Like, why am I still asking them for money when I should be getting it on my own, you know?
right.
So I remember specifically I had 2 summer classes, and they were maybe $2,000 a piece. And this is for me to actually get to be eligible to go to a university. So basically, you're paying this you're paying basically $4,000 to guarantee yourself to be eligible because you're taking this class, but you're paying for it, you know. So like you're gonna end up passing it. Basically, that's how it works. So that money off rip, I'm like, yo, I don't have that type of money. I'm not working. Like I was stressing OD. I'm like, yo, I might not even play Division I basketball. Like I thought my career was over, honestly. And there's a guy from South Jersey. I'm not gonna mention his name. That he knew who I was because of my character. You know, I always stayed the same, respectful guy. You know, he helped out with AAU programs and stuff like that, and he actually helped me out. You know, through that process. And I had a head coach, the coach I was just talking about that's at the University of Ohio now. He was the coach that recruited me to go to Stony Brook. So he came from Ohio State, and he specifically told me I was his first recruit. He just said, I just left Ohio State. You were on the radar. I'm going to Stony Brook University to coach. I'd like you to be a first recruit. I hear you're from the area. How cool would it be to play? You know, you're 2 years away from your family. How cool would it be to go home? And the bond that we created off like that, you know, he came down to Jersey, took me and my mom out to eat. But he was real genuine. He kept it real, and he helped me through the process of me passing the classes. He basically provided a tutor for me. He said to my mom, like, he's going to make it to this D1 level. Like, I'm going to make sure of it. Every day they called me to make sure I was doing my sessions. Like every day the assistant coach was calling me to make sure I was doing my sessions. But I wasn't allowed on campus at Stony Brook until I finished these classes. So you got to think, like, you know, I got to the lineup and everything off, like right off. I finished these classes. I didn't do no type of summer work with them. Like right when I got done the classes, I was able to get on campus, and I just had to adjust and get rolling again.
I remember
that adjustment right there was just crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. But meeting guys like that, like that's why our connection right now is so like strong, and I'll always have love and respect for him because like he gave me a chance. Like he gave me an opportunity. He had faith in me. A lot of coaches is a business to them. Like he didn't have to do that for me. He could have easily said, why not get another 6'7" kid and whatever. But he believed in me and made my dream come true. So like he actually made me go Division I, and like I'll never forget it. Never.
So let me ask you this: when you said you weren't academically ready, was Chipotle just giving you the basic need classes just to make you eligible, or
that's what it was right there? Yeah. It was basically I was taking classes that they're basically like allowing us to take classes just for us to play and for us to win games for their program. It was no like the you know, a couple of teachers were the baseball. You know, you had some coaches that were teachers and stuff like that. So it was like, man, they were just basically giving us the grades for us to hoop. Man, it was all bad. Like my mindset was even about grades. Like I didn't even flinch about grades at all. I was so focused on basketball, I didn't focus about grades at all. Like if I went back now, I would actually like go back and actually lock in more about the grades and learn more about the system how it works. But me, I was just like, yo, I'm taking these easy classes. I'm hooping. I'm a hooper. Like I'm just trying to ball.
Trying to get out of it.
Like,
you telling me that I just got to take these classes and I'm straight? Then okay,
exactly. Yeah, you don't know nothing else. Yeah,
I'm this basket weaving class, baby. As long as
yeah, yeah. You don't know nothing else. You're just like. is this easy? You just got to do this, and you're just hooping. You're not thinking like, all right, let me study, put these hours in. You put hours in the gym every day. So that experience alone was just different.
2 years there. You're 2 years there. How many of your teammates, right, went on to play at a university?
So my first year, I'm gonna say a majority everyone. I'm gonna say everyone went to go play at a Division I, and maybe out of all of them went to go play at a Division II level. But everyone else pretty much had a successful career at a D1. Like everyone made it out, and everyone else had to. Some people had to take longer summer classes, or they had to take off a year, and they had to wait for some coaches to have faith in them and trust them, like how my coach did. But some people just made it, only had 1 year to do, and they still stayed an extra year just because they were betting. So, like I said, everyone's situation was different. Not everyone was there for just grades. So it was pretty cool to see everyone make it out, though. But definitely, I've seen a lot of people that didn't make it out. We had a really talented player that came from California. He was actually a ranked player, like to number 10 in the country, but he was like a kid that didn't have no type of, everything was pretty much handed to him his whole life. So when he went JUCO, he had to work for his stuff, and like he had a bunch of unranked dogs that were hungry just like him though. Like they didn't like myself. I wasn't ranked in the country. I was ranked in the state of Jersey. I wasn't ranked in the country or high on that radar. But we were hungry. We were getting after it, and like he couldn't handle it, and he ended up like. I forgot what the condition was, but he ended up having some condition where, like, everything in his room had to be white, pitch white. Like, he was, like, real to himself. He didn't like being around certain people. Like, he would get real, like, you knock on the door, he looking through the peephole. He was, smoking heavily, like, 24/7. Like, it kind of messed him up, though. Yeah, start.
No, yeah.
I said he got really burning it down every day, all day, and I gotta paint my room white. There is some.
He needed white covers and everything. He was going through it though. He was going through it because like I'm talking about he was one of those Nike kids that was getting everything handed to him. Like you can imagine, you getting Nike, you getting all this gear, money in JUCO. He wasn't getting no gear. $65 a stretch a week, boy, and that's it. You use it how you want it. You go buy that. You go buy that.
Look, and a 2 mile walk
back if you want to, man. Yeah, then you gotta walk that 2 miles. That
nigga said, "Yo,
that's important right there because again, you got 2 kids like yourself and him they're on 2 different ends of the spectrum, and here's a kid that is used to getting everything handed to him, Nike, gear, shoes, all of that, and here you just hungry. Whatever opportunity I have, I'm going to use it to make it. And it shows you, right, the disparity. And it's important that people that listen to the pod hear that because, here's a kid that couldn't handle that. Right. It's like, you mean I got to work? I actually got to work for something. It's not going to be handed to me. And the mental breakdown, right? He started having a mental breakdown, whereas you and like you said, other dogs like, yo, I'm trying to get out of here because I want that Nike. I want somebody to tell me, here's some Nike gear. Here's this. Excuse me. So you're going to work for that. And again, it's the 2 difference. And these are the type of kids that go to JUCO schools. You get the high ranked kids. Like I think parents and players and people tend to think that JUCOs are only for the lower players. Right. And that's not true because you do get some high caliber players, like you said. For whatever reason, they can't make it right, and they end up at a JUCO. And some of those players don't make it. You don't ever hear about them again. So that was very
I played with some top players, man. A lot of JUCO dogs around the world, man. A lot of JUCO talent that I played against, but that played at a lot of high-level D1 schools and actually are in the NBA now. But definitely a lot of like growth and experience you can learn from JUCO. Like it's great basketball overall, great basketball.
I mean, I definitely had a similar experience where I had a guy who at a Division I school had NBA interests, and when he came to my Division II, he thought he was gonna be like up here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he thought that like very similar to you. And I remember being in practice and hearing this dude say, "Yo, why are you going so hard?" I'm like, "What?" Like, well, I'm just supposed to. I want your playing time. What you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it just, I just like what you were saying. Like you could see his mental breakdown of like I gotta compete every day. Like, oh, my spot no matter what. It was little stuff like dude used to come to practice hella late. Like just come to practice late. You know what I'm saying? And then what we started seeing was deterioration because he started coming to practice drunk, like
Yeah.
drinking. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, we starting to see like it's getting too serious for you. You know what I'm saying? It's getting too you coming down off your high horse and we coming up. You feel what I'm saying? And you couldn't deal with not being on that pedestal anymore. And not being the number one guy and not having, like you said, the red carpet rolled out for you. Now you just want you in a bunch with us. You know what I mean? And we didn't have those things. Cause he went to Lou High. You know what I mean? I know we're familiar with Long Island Lutheran and that program and what they stand for. So he was coming from that, and it's just always funny to me, man, that at some point the talent and physicality and athleticism it equals itself out, and then it just becomes what's between here. And throughout this pod, you've demonstrated that really, ultimately, what has helped you get to it. You didn't talk about your ability athletically. You didn't talk about your skill set and what you could do. It really, throughout this podcast, it really should resonate with all the group of your mental fortitude, your mental toughness, your vision to stay the course through everything and what you had in mind for yourself. So out of all of it, hopefully young players, I know my guys who I'm working with will watch this pod.
Right.
They get that, not everybody's path is the same. It's three of us sitting here. None of our paths are the same. But I think that we have similarities in the fact that our mindsets are so tough that no matter what you're throwing at us or what it is that you're going to hold as some type of obstacle, we're going to figure a way. We're going to figure a way either over it, through it, under it, around it, one way or another. That obstacle is not going to be something that deters us from ultimately completing the goal that we aspire to achieve. And you have a special route because I didn't go to JUCO route. I know Wayne didn't go to JUCO route, and just listening to you talk, man, it's just something that I'm very happy that you got on this pod because it's very valuable listening to your experience, and then obviously seeing what you got wearing across your chest right now. It's just a testament to your mental toughness, man. And it can't be compared, it can't be measured, man. That level of success and your determination, man. So,
no, absolutely. From riding skateboards in Ventnor to sitting in Barcelona right now.
I said everything. Football, volleyball, whatever you need me to do, I was out there doing.
Out here playing frisbee, out here, all that. Junior was out here.
Baseball, whatever it was, man. Sign me up.
Word.
Nah, but Mar just hit it on the head, man. Like, we created this pod to educate and give knowledge to the masses in the basketball community, especially for parents and players that just don't know or they fall victim to stereotypes. So it's very important that the information that was given today by you, somebody who has experienced the JUCO grind, who has experienced, I guess the long road. It wasn't just quick for you. You had to fight for what you want. You had to grind for what you wanted. And, again, I'll keep saying it because, the basketball world is big, but once you're inside it, it's small. You know what I mean? Of a lot of players that I know that just have fall victim to the mental aspect and just like, I can't do this. I don't want to do this no more. I want to go home. I want to take the easy road out. And your mental fortitude, I mean, I know we're all huge Kobe fans, so that Mamba mentality for you is why you are where you are. I mean, I know your why is your family. I know they're big in your life. I know how important they are to you. I know how important it is that you being older and you have younger sisters who look up to you and things like that, for you to show them the way. And like, you got to grind for what you want. And I know you want to create a better life for your family too. So you were able to hone in on your why the whole time and still now, because I know even where you are right now in Barcelona and Spain, you're still not where you want to be. I mean, I know the situation isn't exactly how you want it to be, but yet you're still here, you're still grinding, you're still pushing forward. Again, I mean, for you young players out there, I mean, just look at the man's sweatshirt. I mean, if you don't know about Barcelona and the impact they have on the basketball game globally, then you need to do your research, because Barcelona is a huge basketball club in Europe, in the world. They produce a lot of great European players, and a lot of great American players get an opportunity to play for them. So that's kudos to you. I mean, I know they be out there calling you, "Hey, T.O. Hey, T.O.
And Theo
T.O."
talking to him, man.
Hey, just say pasa balón.
Yeah, Barcelona, boy.
Tito.
Yeah, exactly. Catch that joint and say bloqueo. I need.
Nah, that's dope, man. I mean, you got anything else, Mar?
Nah, man. I just, again, man, I can't say it enough, man. Just proud of you, man. Just that experience, man, in life. I know that you're a man of God. I know that you definitely hold that true and close to your heart. And it's just amazing what God could do for you, right?
Exactly, man. Prayers work.
It really do, right? It really do. And I
Right.
think a lot of it comes from just, again, your genuineness in your heart and your oneness with in that relationship. I think that God will always grant you opportunity. It may not look or be the way that you envision it, but he will grant you an opportunity, especially when you walking in your path and in your purpose. And I don't even think you really understand that you're just scratching the surface of your purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're living in it, but I don't think you really realize the power that you have to inspire, to educate, to motivate so many people who look like you. You know what I'm saying? I think that we've been blessed enough. I've always looked up to Wayne's father. I think he instilled many of the things that I'm able to try to do now for younger players. What we attempted to try to do for you guys when you guys were coming up, because the legacy is an important thing, man. We all know that we here on borrowed time, right? And we all know that day will come, the dash. And that's what one of the things that I've started to really understand is we all living on a dash right now. I was born in 85, but the dash is there, and that's where I am right now. There will be a day, but my thing is, what is it that we leaving? What am I leaving if I expire today, tomorrow? You know what I'm saying? And I think one of the things that you've done is shown people that I come from a situation where a lot of people would just be satisfied with just a job. Like, yo, I would just my family would just be happy with me just having a job and being productive. But you saw something bigger for yourself, and you consciously lived through that. Like, I see this, and you've accepted the things that have gone on. And I don't think a lot of players understand that. Like, they'll look at their friend, because I got a lot of players, and they'll look at the kid who's super elite, and they're like, oh, I want to be like that, or how come he gets this or he gets that. And I always say, you have your own path, man. Everybody's path is not the same, and you don't want that man's path because you don't know what that path really entails. You just looking at the outside. You don't know what's going on the inside and all of those things. So again, man, I just think that continue to keep doing what you're doing, man. Make sure that you're giving back, because when you give back, man, one of the things that happens
Excuse me.
is you start to even hold yourself a little bit more accountable, but you start to appreciate the small things. So when you walk in on those streets and those kids may see you, stop, man. Stop and get them a little something. You know what I'm saying? Yo, man, keep doing your thing, because you have no idea what those kids look up to you as. That the same way that you said you wanted a coach to have that confidence in you, and that made you and propelled you to continue to keep believing in yourself. There's some other kid out there whose parents may not necessarily believe that they're going to be a football player, you know what I'm saying? Or that they can play baloncesto at a professional level. But here it is, this guy comes up to him and just gives him 2 minutes of your time, bro. That is like, you have no idea. You don't have to be Kobe Bryant. You could just be Junior Saintel, and that's enough for a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? So just always remember that, man, that like, you're not there for no reason. God don't make mistakes. You're not there for no reason. And continue to walk in your purpose, man, and be blessed on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Big facts. Hey, June, you got anything you want to say to anybody, the players, the parents, before we get out of here?
For the parents, I would just say, like, let your kid be, let their kid just be their kid. Like, you don't gotta force them to do anything that they don't want to do. Don't listen to the stereotype of the junior college, the prep schools. You don't gotta, leave your kid back just so they can, get an opportunity to play. There's a bunch of different ways you can go about those type of situations. And for the players, I would just say just to stay the course. I believe, like, everything happens for a reason. I've been through a lot with this basketball stuff. A lot of ups and downs come with the game of basketball. You deal with a lot of emotions, while playing the game. I just feel like all that happens, for a reason, and it's God's purpose to, allow you to go through those challenges and adversity and see how you react to them. Because I feel like if everything was so easy handed to you, then everybody would just be successful and thriving in life. But it doesn't work like that. For myself, like when I graduated junior college, I was 6'7", 170 pounds, 170 pounds, 175 pounds. When I got to the university, Stony Brook, I talked to the strength and conditioning coach, George Green. I was, embarrassed as hell. I'm like, yo, I'm 165, basically 170. I'm like, these guys are D1, big, strong. I'm like, yo, like, I was in junior college, I was kind of just like, damn, like I wasn't really working in there. So the first day I got to that weight room, I told the trainer, like, yo, I'm ready to work. Like, I'm ready to really get to work. I took my strength and conditioning seriously, meal prep serious. Ended up being around 215, 220 solid my first year, my second year that I was there, my senior year. So you could just see the transition from being 165 to 220 was pretty crazy. And this was all like natural weight to just weightlifting and grinding. And I just feel like in life, you're just going to be dealt with a lot of adversity, and just always how you respond. Just be around the right people, because you could always get distracted by being around the wrong people, and people just telling you the things that you want to hear. You're always going to, think that you want certain stuff in life, but you kind of need those people to tell you the things that you're doing wrong too, and what you need to work on. You don't always need the positive things being said to you, because that's when you start being lazy and thinking that you need everything handed to you. So I would just say, just keep grinding, stay focused, and just let God handle everything he needs to handle, and just enjoy life, man. Every moment. Life is short. I watch a lot of Kobe documentaries and YouTube videos, and that was a sad story for me, because I was one of my favorite players, and everybody knows the impact he left in the world. And I read something yesterday where he was just saying, like, enjoy the moment, and life is short, and just don't take nothing for granted. And that's the main important part I got from his little YouTube thing I watched yesterday. And I had to get back to that, because mentally I was kind of not really being happy and not really satisfied with where I was at. So it's just basically just being happy and, accepting the moment for what it is. So.
Dope, bro. So dope, man.
Yes, sir.
And facts, man. And this was awesome, man. Like, you as our first guest, June.
I appreciate it too, man. First podcast for me. So
okay. I mean,
definitely.
I know when me and Mar started this, it started as a IG live thing, and we've always talked about having something like this, and we just, said, all right, let's do it. And this is what it's turned into. I know for us, this is our 13th real episode documented. I mean, I know we got so much more footage, but when we started talking about having guests, I mean, you were one of the first people that popped into, our minds, just because, again, your story, everybody's story is different. Your grind is different from a lot of people. And I mean, you're a success story. I mean, I know you're not where you want to be right now, and that's always good to have to continue to grow, but you're a success story, especially where we come from. I mean, how many guys that we have in our area are so gifted and talented that they just don't make it out. They don't have.
It's still in the trap, June.
You already know. I mean, guys you went to school with, guys you play high school ball with, even college ball with, that just can't make it out. And, you're a success story. And like you said, like Lamar said, it has come down to the muscle that's between your ears, and it's the mentality that you have. So we truly appreciate you hopping on with us today and spending, I know, your day off today. I mean, for you listeners, so you understand, I mean, he is not in America right now. He is in Spain. He's still in season.
Get the crib.
You know, he just came back from the grocery store. Yeah, man. So for you people out there, for parents, players, if you have any questions that maybe you want to ask and reach out to Junior to know more about his story, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't mind answering. You could hit him up on his IG, hit him with a little message, even if it's just to continue to say thank you. Thank you for your story. Thank you for motivating me. You know, he's a good dude. He's a genuine dude. So feel free to hit him up, ask him any questions. As you guys know, if you guys have any questions for the Hoop Chat, you can hit the Hoop Chat up at the Hoop Chat 247. If you would like to be a guest on the show, if you have any suggestions, or you could hit myself up at Coach W Nelly with the same, or you definitely can hit Mara at Mars Basketball. We will respond, and I want to send a thank you out to all the people who have reached out this past week asking questions about the show, whether it was just giving positive feedback, you know, things they would like to see, people like if they wanted to be on the show. We really appreciate you guys, man. Our community is growing. The podcast is growing. Do me a favor, head over to that marsbball.com, get your latest merch. Get some merch. He's got, I know with spring approaching, I know he's going to have some new stuff coming out for you guys. So please support. We've talked about it before. It's not just about supporting a Black-owned business. It's more about supporting the person and what they stand for. So please head over to marsbball.com. Check out what he got. And always, man, please hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube. Please help us grow. We out here, man. We grinding for y'all. We out here trying to give y'all some information so the basketball community can continue to grow. And that takes us to the end of the pod. And you know my saying before we get out of here, the most important thing is to inspire the next person to be great at whatever they choose to do.
Sir.
And we out of here. Peace.
Yes, appreciate y'all having me.
Welcome everybody to the Hoop Chat. The Hoop Chat. Excited about this topic right here, dog. Let's go.
I learned how to win in college.
Process, right?
Absolutely. Separate the men from the boys. It will separate the real from the fake. It will separate the committed from the uncommitted, who really loves the game and who really don't.
Your network equals your net worth. 25 years of experience.
Like, oh, man, yeah, let's get to work. Mm-hmm. Let's get to work.
Yo, I kept looking around. These it's hella white people, bro, and
I seen you like
they nosy as fuck. They keep looking at me while I'm doing what the fuck I'm doing. Like, I mean, like, yo, I'm at like this little. I'm gonna show you. Hold up. You see this like little. You see a little area.
okay.
So I'm at this little area, man, and this niggas, we sitting here talking. You know what I'm saying? And these motherfuckers is sitting here, just standing there watching us talk. You know, we in the middle of a pod, but if it was just me and you having this conversation, nigga, what the fuck are you looking?
Nah, facts. You know what it is? They wondering why is this black man sitting here just talking? You know what I mean? Like that's exactly what he got going on.
Exactly. It's been this way the whole time since we've been here. I guess we staying at a really like type of place. But like these motherfucking people nosy as fuck. These white people just like and it's funny because I'm in Florida and it's like I guess you know they still behind on shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, oh man, mind your fucking business. Like,
Right.
God damn. And when we was talking about certain shit, this one dude, he's sitting there, standing there, and then his lady comes standing next to him, and we was talking about the JUCO shit. And you know what I'm saying? So, forget exactly what it was that we was talking about, but it was just all in my mouth. I'm like, yo, mind your fucking business, bro. But then I'll be rude if I say, what the fuck is you looking at?
Oh, this is the black guy.
Yeah, I'm the angry black guy all the damn time.
Word. That was dope, bro.
Real good, man. That was real good in my opinion. Anyway, I mean, we got a lot out of him.
Facts. He's hit me up now on Instagram. He said I had so much fun, and that he said he needed that.
Word.
And he said the pod is dope as fuck. Can't wait to see it grow.
Man, that's what's up, man.
So I had made a little mistake on the time because I forgot that daylight savings doesn't affect here.
Oh, okay.
So we're technically 6 hours ahead, and then when we switched, they went to 5 hours ahead. So we hopped on a little later than expected, but whatever. I'm glad we got this in. I'm glad because he was like, yo, you told me 1:30, and I'm like, yeah, you 6 hours ahead. He like, nah, it's 5. And I'm like, oh, I get it. I forgot that. That's just some American shit. How we the only country that change the time and nobody else do that shit?
Nobody else go forward or backwards. I don't understand.
That shit was dope, bro. Like,
that was a real good.
Like, I can't wait to
real good. That was real good. Just off, again, just getting his perspective and just hearing, his story. You know what I'm saying? I think that, again, it's extremely beneficial to anybody, honestly. You know what I mean? And the way we did it was good too, because it just highlighted a lot. You know what I'm saying? Just
right.
So we gotta try to figure out how we gonna get some more people. We need to put a list together.
Word.
Of just names and stuff.
You say you talked to Frankie, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'll talk to him again. He's been going through some shit. So
yeah, I know.
I ain't want to pile on. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to give him some space and some time. So now CJ is in the portal now. So I had told his pops. I said, "Yo, when
interview,
that'd
be a dope person to have on."
Yeah, I want to get. I just don't know how that it become a conflict of interest in some kind of. You know what I mean?
I think if we just talk about, it'd be a good pod to have about like recruiting, going to situations that don't work out for you for whatever reason, how you maintain your positive mindset to keep moving forward, how you continue to work on your game. I don't think, we could maybe ask a couple college coaches. I don't think it would be anything wrong as long as he's maybe not talking anything negative about Xavier.
Right.
Or even really getting into his recruitment process right now he's doing, just more so his situation. Again, that'll be a good pod to give more information to players and parents like, yo, yeah, you might go to a school and everything might be all dandy. You went to D1, but listen, when you get there, things don't always work out how you plan. And how do you maintain the mindset to keep moving forward and things like that?
So I know he's. Last time I told his dad, he was like, "Man, I told this nigga, man, look, if you don't, because they all virtual, so he like, look, since you doing what you're doing, if you want to just come home, just we'll send you a flight and just leave all that other shit there." Because he was this nigga talking about TVs and all that shit. I ain't fucking driving out there to Ohio to bring that shit back. And you think I'm about to bring it to the next school you going to, man? Fuck that shit. Leave that shit right there. Pack your fucking bags.
Sell that shit on the marketplace.
And that's what I told him. I said, yo, just tell him fucking go on Facebook or offer up, and he can knock that shit off. At least get you some dough back. He said, man, I ain't worried about that shit, man. Just get the nigga, tell this nigga, put the fucking sneakers and all your clothes in the bag and get to the airport.
Get your ass home.
Yeah, I'll see you when you get home. Say shit. So
I think their whole family like the situation that they're dealing with. He got a kid that obviously, you know, is in the portal, his situation, and he's got a younger son dealing, you know, what he's dealing with. Like, I think that makes for a great pod, bro. And we could, I mean, just talk about different things. You could talk about it. He could talk about it from the parent perspective. And then you got two sons. He's got two sons that are very talented, and yet they're different because they're on different levels right now and dealing with different things. So, I mean, I think they make for a great pod.
Yeah. I mean, I just gotta nail down the time. I told everybody that I was going away for the weekend, and I told everybody that because I'm like, look, don't fucking call me for shit. Like, I just want to just disconnect, you know what I mean, and recalibrate, so to speak. So, I'll tell you what, though. Hey, Just, I'm hungry as fuck. This girl need to hurry up. I ain't eat shit.
I'm about to go do the same. My stomach is. What he say? That $65 wasn't cut. I gotta go get this chicken.
This nigga said, when your stomach talking to you, it don't matter what time.
You was like, I don't know about you. Well, I ain't walking 2 miles. He was like, shit, when your stomach touching, you gonna get that. I'm gonna go get that McChicken.
That's real. That's real talk, though. Shit, I'm gonna go find me something, nigga. I don't give a fuck if it's some peanuts, nigga. I'm gonna go get something to quiet the stomach grumbling. But nah, that's good shit, man. That's good. I can't wait to be able to drop that in my email so I can start making some
chopping it up fast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to get I know I'm a hit download while I'm done here. It takes like, depending on the internet, it doesn't take long to download. So hopefully I can have it downloaded by today, and because I want to listen to this again already. Like, you know, so I'll definitely try to get it to you so you can get it in your inbox and like maybe something you could listen to on your way home or whatever.
Word. Yeah, definitely like to listen to it on the flight if I could.
Word. Nah, yeah, I'm gonna get that up and shit.
All right, G.
All right, bro. I'm gonna go up here and see what these two girls up here making all this noise. See what they doing.
Yeah, I gotta see what. Yo, how crazy is that? Yo, look at what episode is on.
Ah, Lucille.
Yo, how fucking crazy is that?
Wow, that is crazy, bro. About everything to be on TV right now.
Yo, that is some fucking crazy shit, bro.
Word. Like, Jeffrey, go get Lucille.
Damn.
Nah.
All right, bro.
All right, bro.
Talk to you a little later. I'll probably hit you later on today. Just checking.
All right, I ain't doing nothing. Just hit me.
All right.
All right.
All right, peace.